My girlfriend called me by a nickname that she used for her ex-boyfriend.
Cucumber supplier?
So long story short, I've been with my girlfriend for a while now, and she has this cute nickname for me, which is kind of cringe, but I see it makes her really happy when I let her call me it, so I've always been okay with it. The problem is that I've asked her out of curiosity how she even came up with this nickname, and she told me that she originally made it for her ex after he won her a prize at a fun fair.
Ooh, that sounds like an inside joke for you and your ex.
Yeah, that's the thing, because it's it's different than like babe, because this is an inside joke that doesn't really apply to this person.
Like if I called anybody else soap, it would be weird.
It would be weird. They'd be like, why are you calling me soap? And you're like, you don't get it.
So my roommate's name's Sophia. And
by the way, this comes from Stop Banning Me 1600 on the OK Storytime subreddit. So this has really pissed me off because she's using a name she made for her ex after they specifically shared a moment together for me. The part that annoys me the most is that every time she uses that name, her ex will 100% come up in her mind as the nickname is specific to a certain event shared between the two of them. I've spoken to her and raised my concerns about this, and in fairness, she is understanding. She got annoyed with me at first, but has since stopped using the nickname. The part that makes me feel slightly guilty is that since she stopped using the nickname, she clearly hasn't had the same smile she once had. But that's because she was thinking about her ex.
she probably realized.
Yeah.
It would be so funny. This guy looks just like her ex, and she can't call him his ex's nickname.
Dang. Yeah, it's like basically she's calling you her ex's name. To be honest, I think she wants to use that nickname so much so that in her head she can try to replace me with her ex. But I am an overthinker, so maybe I'm completely wrong here. Am I the a-hole? And there are some relevant comments, but I don't think you're the a-hole.
Nah, and doesn't sound like you're overthinking here.
I don't think that either. I think that this is kind of weird. Pino says, I know you spoke about it, otherwise you wouldn't know where the name came from. I meant to talk about her losing the smile, like you said. I can see her being sad about not being able to call you a certain name anymore, but seeing the history, she should realize why. Not like you don't have a valid reason for disliking being called that name. I'd ask her why she insisted on calling you knowing the history of where the name came from. I'm usually one to overthink everything and always assume the worst, but I don't know, I think there's more to it here somehow. I hope you guys can work it out. OP says, overthinking is genuinely the worst, and I do feel guilty about this. In my mind, I thought that maybe she was cheating or something, but if I'm being fully rational, I think that's a slim chance. I've been cheated on in the past, so I'm not arrogant in thinking that could never happen to me, but she doesn't show any signs, and she's always spamming me throughout the day of whatever she's doing, and she's over at mine a lot, so I do doubt there's something fishy going on. And there is an update. Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily like she's cheating or something, but I think it's
fantasizing.
Yeah, I think that's my thought process here.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Because to me, if I had an ex that, I had a name for, and then I got with a new person, I would want to come up with a new name that was specific to them. I think there's fun in finding a nickname. I'm actually not really a nickname person.
I call her Angie Girl.
I honestly don't call people their names a lot, especially when I start.
You say my name all the time.
That's true.
Riley?
There are some people that I say their names all the time, but when I first start meeting people, I'm really hesitant to say their name.
You don't want to get it wrong.
Yeah.
Dude, I did not say Angie's name on the first date because I did not know how to say it.
It's like, well, I know how to say their name, but I'm just like, I don't know why. I get in my head about it. It's really weird.
I'm like, oh.
But they're always like, people are always like Sophia or like Sophia Donner. So many people say that to me. They're always like Sophia Donner. I've had so many people say that to me.
Oh, wow.
Now let's get into the update. So first of all, I'd like to just say thanks to everyone who gave me their advice. It was genuinely helpful and I'm so thankful. Now on to the update.
Oh boy.
So my girlfriend came over tonight as expected and she actually bought me Call of Duty MW3, which I wasn't expecting at all, but massive W.
Okay.
Anyways.
Do we forget about the issue right now?
Yeah, she's trying to buy your silence.
Sometimes whenever I don't do this
you can be bought.
with previous relationships.
Yeah.
If I messed up, I would get them flowers and like, we don't really talk about it anymore after that.
Well, I think that if it's an apology gift, it should also be accompanied with a conversation about the problem.
Or just like, I'm sorry.
I'm
then you guys are good.
Yeah, and then everything's chill. Well, I ordered some food and we sat down and just did what normal couples do for like the first hour because, to be honest, me being the idiot I am, forgot I had something serious to speak to her about. He's like,
shiny gift.
She's like, Call of Duty, woo! There was a point where I could tell she wanted to use that nickname for me during our conversation, and then I saw her stop herself and she looked kind of upset. And it was at that moment I realized I was meant to bring up this issue.
Okay, and basically the guy probably like passed in a car accident.
Yeah, she's like, I need to, his memory needs to live on.
Cucumber monster must live on.
To save you guys from all the boring details, I basically started off by telling her I needed to speak to her about something, and she just sat and listened to me. I started off by telling her I do love her very much, as per the advice given to me here, and that I want her to tell me exactly how she feels about this nickname situation, because I can clearly see it's been bothering her, and the last thing I want is for her to feel down. She basically told me that I shouldn't be surprised that she was bothered by the situation, because I know that pet names are her love language, and because I told her that she shouldn't use nicknames with me anymore. I was basically stopping her from showing me affection in the way she loves.
Any nicknames anymore? I did not catch that.
That is not what he said. He said don't use the nickname that you used for your ex.
Oh, I see.
Well, no, I'm agreeing. Like, I think that she's kind of maybe overblowing it.
Got it.
She said she didn't mind not using the nickname that I had an issue with, but she felt I didn't have to stop her from using any type of nickname with me. I was completely lost at this point because I never told her that she couldn't use nicknames. I just said don't use that specific one she made for her ex. And then we both realized this was one big misunderstanding.
Aww.
She was under the assumption that I had told her to stop the whole nickname thing entirely, which wasn't the case. Honestly, the way her face lit up when she realized that she could still use pet names with me made me so bloody happy.
Aww.
Okay, we're chill.
We're back.
We're chill.
We're so back right now.
After we cleared up the matter, I decided to ask her why she kept using the nickname with me despite her making it for her ex. She told me that she never really saw it like that when she was using the nickname. She said that the nickname was just something she found really cute, and it captured a moment where her man made her feel incredibly happy. She also said that because she wasn't with her ex for that long, about 3 months they dated, she didn't feel that it really belonged to him because that nickname was only made about a month before they broke up. She also told me that she uses this nickname with me far more often than she did with her ex because I always make her laugh and smile, which is what this nickname embodies for her. She then reassured me that she absolutely, wholeheartedly loves me, and when I told her about me overthinking this as her trying to replace me with her ex, she let out a small giggle saying how incredibly silly I was for thinking that. Now that I look back at it, I was an idiot for thinking that. I don't think you were an idiot. I think it's kind of a fair assumption.
Yeah, we read Reddit stories.
She told me that not once did her ex pop up in her mind when using the nickname. She just genuinely felt it belonged to me and that I am the only person worthy to be called that in her eyes. Anyways, we both let out a massive sigh of relief, and I finished this conversation by telling her that after hearing all this, I wasn't just okay with it if she still wanted to use the nickname, but I would be honored. And she told me that she wants to give me a new nickname, one that's fresh just for me, because at the end of the day, I make her 100 times happier on my worst day than her ex could make her on his best day. That's really cute. And so the nickname she was using wasn't strong enough to show just how happy I made her. What a comeback!
Wow.
What a comeback.
I feel good.
I feel great. Moral of the story, speak to your partner ASAP if you ever have an issue because one simple conversation could solve it all. Also, one thing I've learned from this is that my girlfriend really takes this nickname thing seriously. Like, I always thought it was just a cute thing for her, but she really does put a lot of emotion behind the name.
Aww.
And it would make me emotional if you guys joined us live every weekday at 3 p.m. PST on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitch.
My nickname's for Angie, Turtle, because she eats really slow as a turtle, and they call her that growing up. She's like, don't call me Turtle. I'm like, you can't tell a Southern boy not to call you by a critter name, you know?
You're just Turtle.
You're Turtle.
Turtle.
Angie Girl. And then like Babe and like all that stuff.
Babe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're on the up, Sophia.
Woo!
We're on the up. And then you're going to see this on Facebook like a few months from now.
Yeah, I'm going to be like, ooh. But there is a little bit more. P.S. What gift do I get her now? Because I wasn't expecting her to get me MW3. And now I have to get her something because there's no way I'm letting myself take her gift and not surprise her with something in return.
Get her a candle warmer with a candle, a nice candle, depending on
lighters.
The electric lighters. And then you also get her a makeup brush cleaner because that's really good if she's like really into makeup. Get her some like nice little facial cleansers or like nice little fun things. Like do a little spa day if you really want to throw it out of the park and experience. They love that stuff. Like mud, and then you get all of it. You get nerdy. Yeah, the candle warmer is the top one.
I like books.
Yeah, you get Sophia likes books.
I like books.
Specifically about dystopian books about the world ending and that a human needs to communicate with an alien life form in order to save both of their worlds.
Yeah.
That's her favorite kind of books.
I like those books. Or chalk. But that is the end of that story.